Who's ready for some girl chat? You guys ready for some girl chat?
Yes, I am.
Yes,
All right, listen to this. Literally, Quora.com posed this question. If someone overhears a conversation someone is having with another person that was never meant for their ears, do they have the right to judge? What about getting involved? And should you be listening to the other person's conversations anyway?
Absolutely.
Right? So, ladies, let's be real here. Have you ever overheard a stranger's conversation and wanted to butt in?
I absolutely have overheard somebody's conversation. I highly recommend it. It's quite entertaining. Do not butt in. I don't care what's going on over there. You mind your business. Unless you want to get beat up in a grocery store.
Now, I have to say, I was at the airport one time, and we're getting in line, getting ready to get on the plane, and it was this lady and her husband, and the lady was, like, going off on her husband because he was on the phone, and she was talking really loud to where everybody could hear.
Oh, gosh.
And she was getting upset, and she was like, you know, you need to get off the phone with that other woman. I just hate you, and I just can't stand this. And you know me being Auntie Loni, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't care how old you are. If I feel like something like that, I'm going to butt in because she was so emotional. She was distraught. And so, you know, he wouldn't get off the phone. And I said, would you get off the phone? And he got off the phone. And then I said, it's going to be all right. I said, I don't know where y'all going if you're getting on a plane with us, but both of y'all need to calm down. And let's just get on this plane, and let's just have a good flight, and then y'all can fight when you get off the plane. And that's what we did.
That's
Real. Oh, my gosh.
I had like that, and I didn't have a great experience. I was living in an apartment complex. I befriended this couple, and they had like a really like bad argument. They were yelling, and then automatically I just take the woman's side. And I got out there, and you know, I wanted to, you know, protect her. But
Was this
then
in the hallway? Y'all was...
No, you can hear them. They were on the lower level, and I had an apartment complex where you had that like opening of like a
courtyard.
A courtyard, yes. And I remember I got in the middle of them, and I said, "Hey, you leave her alone," just like that. But then the next day, they acted like nothing ever happened. They were lovey-dovey, so guess who looked like the idiot? I did. So I learned that's why my name is Bennett, and I ain't in it.
Well, you know what? But if I hear something where they're asking for help,
yes,
you know, if it's a serious thing where they're asking, because I've lived, you know, them days in apartments where, you know, you could hear some things happening and you can hear cries for help. If it's a cry for help, I'm gonna call the police.
Yes.
I ain't going down there, you know, because I might get, you don't want these fisticuffs on you, all right?
You know what, though? I have to say, I share a room with Tam, and we actually don't have a door.
We don't.
On our space.
We have a sliding.
You can hear everything that goes on in our rooms, but I have the ability to just kind of phase out sound. I think that's why sometimes I kind of lose myself in the moment. You guys are like, Jeannie, are you listening? I'm like, well, huh? Because I grew up in a house with 15 people at one point, so, you know, you just get to a point where you know how to drown out noise. So you don't listen to other people's business. So when it comes to friends, I don't listen to their stuff. In fact, if I hear you on the phone or something, I know how to like zone it out so I don't get in your business. But if it's a stranger, oh, I'm in it to win it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'd be all up in the conversation.
This one time, I was in a restaurant in the Lower East Village, and the tables are really close to each other, and I was listening to this woman. She had cheated on her husband, slept with another man in her bed at home, but I guess her husband was coming home early, so she was on the phone to get her girlfriend to help her clean up the mess. So I'm sitting there on...
Scandalous.
I know, it was so juicy, so I got all the details. So I'm sitting next to her. She's explaining, like, you gotta find, there's a condom wrapper somewhere. No, it's a purple condom wrapper. Look under the bed, look behind the pillows. Is it in the trash? I didn't flush it down the toilet. Girl, no, I know it's there. You gotta find it. He's leaving the airport right now. JFK, the whole thing, I was like, oh my God. Guys, I was listening so deep on this conversation, I was leaning, like, but I didn't realize how far I was leaning. I fell on top of her. And then she was like, excuse me.
The least you could have done was help her find the condom key.
I know. So then I had to pretend that I lost a pen. So I said, oh, I just dropped a pen. Could you? And she's like, well, what color was it? I was like, purple. I mean, the worst situation.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So she knew, I knew, and I just like called for the check, and I had to get out of there. But I'm dying to know what happened and if she got caught.
Lady, if you had a purple condom in your bed and your husband was on the way from the airport, please hit us up on @TheRealDaytime.
Jeannie Mai wants to know. Okay, okay.
I know, right?
Crazy.
Well, while we're on the topic of listening, what do you do when your friend tells you she just broke up with her boyfriend and is devastated? Oh, I hate this.
Yes.
Now, according to Madame Noir, you should give your friend time to vent and grieve, but be careful not to coddle her.
Yes.
For example, don't let her talk all day about the breakup because, you know, they say that she won't be willing to, you know, do the things to move, you know, get over it.
Yes.
Like going outdoors and investing time in the career.
Yes.
So, I mean, what do you guys do when your girlfriend breaks up? And do you do that? What do you do?
I agree with this. There's an element of truth to this, although it hurts at the time. Because I remember when you go through a bad breakup,
it sucks.
It's so weird to wake up and all of a sudden, before your eyes even open, you remember that your heart is broken. Like, it feels so heavy. You're going to cry, right? But, yo, I remember growing up with breakups in my house with Mama Mai. She's that type. She won't let you suffer. She pushed open my door one time when I looked like Carrie in Sex and the City when Mr. Big kind of left her at the altar.
Yes.
I looked like that on high definition. Bags, you know what I mean? Like, just bad. And Mama Mai is the type to just be like, get up, you don't cry. Why you cry for? He's fat anyway. He don't have a good job. He's stupid. You smart. Go make yourself pretty. Hurry up. And she would just yell. And it was funny, but at the same time, like, there's a part to it that actually makes you, no, get up. Put one leg in front of the other. And she laid out an outfit for me, and I'll never forget this. She laid out a really colorful dress for me, and she put a red lipstick down. And for some reason, I just put it on. And it therapeutically made me feel better because I was looking at myself in the mirror and trying to clean myself up and get it together. And for women, really, style helps you. I call it wearapy. It gives you a therapeutic feel to get yourself back on your feet when you just put something on and slap on a red lip.
My Joe always says, better to look good than to feel good. Okay. And I actually agree with that because
when you look
sometimes when you look better, you almost are like, oh, I'm not that miserable. Even if your heart is broken, if you actually just get yourself together and you start just going forward, just, you know, it's almost like fake it till you make it. You act like everything's okay, and one day you wake up and you're like, everything is okay. I'm gonna be all right.
What I love about my friends is they always fight back with the word of God. Because usually after a breakup, my spirit is usually just broken. You don't feel good.
Yeah.
And one of their main things is making sure that I get back on the right track. I do have this cousin. His name is Jerome. Y'all met him.
Yeah.
Jerome, he was on He and Tamera. Jerome's in the house. You better watch your mouth. He loves this show, by the way. He watches it every day.
Hi, Jerome. We love you.
But Jerome is, he's no nonsense. I can remember I broke up with my college boyfriend, and he was staying with us for 2 weeks. And he gave me a week to mourn. After that, he was like, the self-pity party is over.
Yes.
Then I remember he looked at me and he said, Tamera, you are too fly to be acting like this. He said, do you know who you are? But better yet, do you know whose you are? You are the princess of the Most High. You better wake up and walk in your purpose. And I was like, okay, all right. And literally, I was over it. So I appreciate my friends to shake me up with my faith.
That was definitely a little better than my mind. Yes.
Depending on what the breakup is for my friends. Like if it was a long term, then I set boundaries. So if it's like a long-term relationship, you know, I give them a little more time. But if it's a short term, then I give them like 2 weeks. I give them more than a week. I give them about 2 weeks where I'm taking their phone calls, I'm listening to the stories and the memory lane.
The stories go on and on.
And you know, because I'll go with you. Yes, girl, I knew it. I knew back then at Easter he wasn't no good. I tried to tell you.
I'm not
but
doing
you
it.
wasn't listening.
I'm not doing it. Let me tell you.
But wait a minute.
Maybe I'm a bad friend.
Because after the 2 weeks, then now I'm like, and I don't tell them. See, this is the thing. I don't let them know. I just give, in my mind, 2 weeks. Because you also have to remember, you're going through the relationship with them, too.
Yeah.
And it's not fair to you or your friendship with them to sit here and let that person keep them down. So what I'll do is that if she brings it up, then I'll bring up another subject, or I'll take her out, or I'll do something. And this is with guys, too. If guys break up, it's really hard with guys. You got to really hear some stories, you know. So I try to be a good friend and take their mind off of the breakup, usually after 2 or 3 weeks, you know, because that's the best way to handle
reasonable.
it and help them.
It is.
Yeah.
I feel like People with broken hearts, I like to deal with them like infants. Sometimes you just gotta self-soothe people, okay? Like, you know how they say babies, you shouldn't pick them up every single time they cry and coddle them. I just sometimes think that we naturally, and maybe as a woman, I feel we naturally can heal ourselves. I feel like sometimes time alone, time spent just renewing yourself.
Resilient.
Yeah, we are resilient. You can bounce back. I think the coddling thing just does not work. It actually is not helpful. It takes
Well, that's
them
what they're
backwards.
saying. Don't coddle.
Don't
that's
coddle
what
them.
they're saying.
Yeah, you have to learn how to self-soothe. You have to learn how, if everything in your life is falling apart, your power is that you can make yourself happy. That you are your own happiness and you can move on and move forward.
But sometimes you need to talk it out.
Oh, I like to talk it out.
Yes.
I like to.
No, I'm not calling nobody when I'm really sad.
Adrienne, really?
No,
No,
Jeannie.
I
When
will
I'm
say
really
that.
sad, I'm not
Yeah.
calling
Just like
anybody.
to deal with it on your
alone.
own. How did you? Okay, so if your sister broke up with
Yeah.
someone, how did you handle that? Would you coddle her, just a little bit, or were you the chick that just let her
I'm not gonna
cry?
go ghost on you.
Okay.
But I'm absolutely gonna say, hey, I love you. I think I actually would encourage them to take time.
Got it.
To get happy. But I feel like even people that say that they're heartbroken and every other Instagram is a quote about them being You're not that heartbroken if you on Instagram. I'm sorry.
But see, that's
You're not that
it.
sad.
Yeah.
You just want
Well,
attention.
sometimes, you just gotta get it out,
Yes.
though.
But I think
Sometimes
they-
it makes
when they-
you
And that's
feel
what
better.
Jesus is for.
When
He's
they do
gonna
it
listen
on-
at all
Yeah,
times.
but Adrienne, you had to have one moment where something hurt so bad. You just, you may not have told everybody the same story over and over, but you told
I promise
one
you,
person.
If it really hurts, then I'm absolutely not telling anybody. If it really hurts, am I the only one? Like,
But
if I'm really, then I don't want to talk to anybody.
But you allow yourself to go through those emotions
Yes.
and
Correct.
those feelings, correct?
And then I
because
come
if
back
you
to it.
don't,
Yes.
that's when it becomes detrimental and it
For
may
sure.
come out in, other areas.
Yeah.
It's really
Yes.
important to allow yourself to feel
But
those
then
I
emotions.
what
just don't want to emotionally vomit on people.
No.
No, but you're not being but a true friend is not that. That's
yes.
why I said sometimes
And a true
you know
friend
who
can
you
be a
can do
barf
that.
bag sometimes
Right.
for you if you need.
Right.
Yeah.
But what I agree with you because some people now, because of Facebook and social media,
Yes.
they put all their business and you got to see those sad quotes and stuff like that.
Yes.
We don't like, it's like.
At least one or two.
No,
One or two.
trust me,
No.
I've been heartbroken, I've been sad.
No.
I'm so sad. I'm not looking at Instagram. Like, something is really going on in my life. It's like, I'm sorry, like when there's been a death in the family, okay, maybe this is where I think it's
Adrienne
weird.
Houghton.
Okay, I think it's weird when people the next day are Instagramming and
Oh.
stuff. If my heart is
But-
really broken and someone passed away, I'm not on Instagram.
Okay, but I'm
posting
going to
about
give you a
it.
scenario.
Okay, okay.
I'm going to give you a scenario.
Okay.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
So Freddie, my husband, he doesn't like to go. He doesn't want everybody to know his business, and he doesn't like somebody playing a violin for him.
No,
He doesn't
I
like
hate
it.
that.
Okay.
So when his father passed away, he just kept it to himself the whole time. And I gave it about a month. I gave it 2 months. I gave it 3 months, and he never talked about it. And it felt
Not
real.
to you?
Not to me at all. He was just like hard about it, and he'd cry by himself. But
Yeah.
I kept thinking, leave him alone. Like, that's what you think. Somebody wants to be left alone. He's not asking me for help. I'd come and I'd ask. He's like, no, I'm good. Guys, that morning went on for like maybe about a year and a half, and it got really sticky between us in our marriage. It was probably one of the roughest moments. Where year 2, I had to wake him up and I had to say, you got to talk to me because you've now built a wall and you become hard and cold, and that's not the man I married, and that's not how your father would want you to be either.
Yeah.
And so all I'm saying is, if you allow pain to become a callus around your heart and you become guarded and cold, then that changes you, and that's not worth it for yourself.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Agreed, yeah.
I think handling a breakup is different than handling grief, especially on social media, because I think on social media, handling grief, like you it's more of an announcement. Like when my cousin Skillet passed, I just made an announcement because I talk about him so much, so I wanted people to know.
Yeah.
Whereas a breakup, that's something different because, the people are still living,
Yeah, clearly,
and it's just
yeah.
some people are just like, but
I
they
was just using it as an
those
example.
long quotes of no men are no good, and
No.
it's like, oh my God.
I'm thinking when you really been through
No, I'm
something.
thinking of positive quotes to get you out of the funk.
No, but
No,
see,
we're
we talk about the
no.
negative, like they do the Adele
Yeah,
song.
if your heart is really broken, you're not on there thinking a quote. Like, you're just not. You're trying to mend yourself. And I think that when I say be on your own, maybe I'm different. When I'm alone, I renew myself.
Yes.
When
Yeah.
I get time to be by myself, I actually find my happy. I find my help. I fall in love with myself again. I find out the things I enjoy doing on my own, and I remind myself, I'm happy just on my own, and that's good enough.
Yes, but I'm not gonna lie, if you're going through a breakup and you post saucy pictures of yourself on Instagram and
what
you're
I'm saying,
feeling
it's an
yourself and it's
outlet.
like sexy and you can see that that person's really trying to win some likes.
And that's
I'm like,
great.
yes, girl, like. You can get over him.
If you can get the energy up to get saucy and put your sexy
Boom.
pictures, you're on your way out.
Yes.
There is a light at the end of the tunnel.
All the way